I would like to share some things to consider, some reflections of mine when I observe the life in different cultures. I'm currently in Indonesia. This is the botanic garden in Bogor. It's like just a beautiful place in the middle of the chaos, or what you would perceive as chaos. Like when I was going from Jakarta by the bus, you never knew that Jakarta ended, and all of a sudden we were in Bogor, and we were driving like an average speed of 10k an hour all the way because the traffic was so jammed. And you would think that stressed people out, but if you observe them closely, they do not look that stressed out here. Not more than the European people, at least. And it's easy when you see them work, like, and what they are doing. You know, you would like to say, that's not the fastest way to do that, you know, there are better ways. But then when you look at them, I got kind of the impression that they might not have the same intention of working as we do. Like, we work, you gotta get things done as fast as possible. They seem more to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And the intention is not to get it done as fast as possible, rather to just do it. Because that's what they do for a living, and they have their whole life doing it. They don't need to think about the results that much. They are not that result oriented. Or I might be wrong. I'm just thinking about how I feel when I see them here. Like, when I was in Bali, for example, I was amused by the fact that they spend so much time learning about their religion. It's like half the time in school they spend learning about their own religion, which only exists in Bali. An island really small. Like, there's a lot of people living there, but the island is really small. And you would think, why do you spend so much time learning this? You will have no use for it in any other world than your own little bubble here. But then I gotta think about it. Imagine, they have probably no intention of ever leaving Bali. That's why they think it's so important to know everything about their religion. And if they would come to our culture in Europe or in America or someplace, they would probably be confused about different things. Why are you spending so much time learning this in school? You're clearly never gonna use 90% of it ever in your life again. And that is true. So we are just as they actually use their knowledge about their religion because it's their everyday life. That's what they do. Like, a Balinese woman spend like the most of their free time preparing or either performing ceremonies and doing things related to their religion. That's not how we live our life in Europe. We spend a lot of time learning weird history stuff and physics and mathematics, which most people never intend to use again in their life. So I wouldn't say we are that much more advanced. We're all different, that's for sure. And then you meet a monk, and you might feel you're sitting, meditating all of your time, or most of your time, for the rest of your life. Why are you wasting your life doing something that meaningless? And here's the monk's view out of it. He meets you and might wonder, you're thinking about things that might or might never happen to you, and you repeat them in your mind over and over again, worrying about things that you will have enough time to think of when they actually happen, if they actually happen. So in their life, we might be squandering our life and our time doing nothing of importance, and we don't even enjoy it because we're stressing about everything, and they're sitting down, meditating, actually enjoying it. So who's to say that they are the ones wasting their life? My God. Hey girls. Got followers here. You see, they don't look that stressed out to me. And if you look at the traffic, it's obvious you feel like it makes a European guy stressed out with just looking at it. But when you get to feel it closer, it's not more chaotic than it is in the Western world. It's actually the other way around, if you ask me. I feel more safe cycling in Thailand than I do in Sweden, in Norway. For some reason, because you are more aware. You expect anything to happen at any time. You don't do that in Europe. You expect everything to go according to the rules, and then all of a sudden somebody, which is pretty likely that somebody does something unexpected, and then you are totally off guard. I gotta sit down in this beautiful garden before I leave out in the traffic again. I will try to enjoy that as well. The world is a weird place to live in, but it's not that strange if you think about it. We all are as we are, because we are as we are. It's not more strange that people here do the things they do than it is that we do the things we do back in the West. And it's easy to get upset here, but why do you use so much plastic, and why do you use that, and why do you destroy the planet? But I'm not sure they are a bigger issue than we are, if you see the whole picture. Plastic here and plastic there. Maybe plastic is the next part of evolution. I have no clue. You would say, I doubt that. Yeah, I doubt that too, but we come here and trying to change them to be like us. We are probably not better. Maybe if we just allow people, I don't know. I'm not saying if you feel something is totally wrong, you're not going to do anything about it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you come to this continent and see that everything upsets you, maybe the continent is not the problem. Maybe you have some side of you that sees everything as a problem. And maybe deal with that side of you first and see what remains that actually is a problem for you and for the whole planet. I think you change the world more by changing yourself than trying to change everything around you, because that, my friend, is exhausting. This world is huge. It's still just a tiny prick in the universe, but in your perception it's huge. If you try to, you cannot even control a single mosquito, let alone a human. It's impossible to control a human. Imagine trying to control the whole Indonesia here, 260 million people or whatever, how many they are. You can't, but you can change yourself. You might say, well, that's not going to change the world. Well, how do you know? Have you ever tried? You have tried trying to scream and yell at the people and say, don't use that much plastic, but you haven't tried to see why that upsets you. Maybe you have. I don't know. I haven't. But I'm doing it. Getting to the bottom of why some things upsets me. think that was it for today. Look at these trees. So they are mowing this whole park. It is huge, really huge. They are mowing it by hand, just with this stick. It's gonna take days and days and weeks, and they're gonna work every day. But then again, the intention might not to be to get it done as fast as possible, but to have a job that you can go to every day. If you look at the stores here, look at 7-Eleven or something, you would think, do you really need 7 or 10 employees for just a small store with only 1 or 2 cashiers? Right? And of course, back in Sweden, you would use 1 person and still feel like you need to cut down on things because the expenses are too high. Here, they make not a third of the money, or fourth of the money you make in Sweden by working alone there, but everybody got a job, and they don't seem to complain. There are 10 people working in one single small store, and one might have the assignment to just open the door for you. That's pretty common here. Who's to say that that is waste of resources or waste of time, waste of money? They all have something to do. It might not be what they dream about, but they all feel like they're doing something, instead of feeling like you feel when you're alone working at a job like that in Sweden. You feel like, I'm doing everything and it's not worth it, I'm not getting paid enough, I'm doing more than I'm capable of, and I think you will never get paid for more than you do until you're willing to do more than you get paid for. Does that make sense? Anyway, this is interesting. That's why I recommend everybody once travel a little bit and see that everything is not as it appears in media or in TV or whatever, or as people tell you about it. Stories change, and there are just as many perceptions of this country as there are people in the world. You gotta see it for yourself and make up your own perception. Thank you for watching.
I'm the king of the sand, of the ocean.